Hello, hi, happy Friday. I hope that you are all doing well. I wanted to come on today and talk about one way that procrastination often shows up in our business, and is analysis paralysis, right? The inability to make a decision about something. Um, and this can be really small things like, um, which software should I use for my email marketing? Or this could be really big things like, um, what is the next thing that I should do? Which direction should I put my business in? Things like that. So it can be a whole range of different things that this indecision, this analysis paralysis can leave us feeling stuck. So I wanted to talk a little bit about why that is, and talk about how you can start to move past that. I think, as I talk about a lot with procrastination, it is your brain's very natural inbuilt way of keeping you safe. And a lot of times, this indecision is a way to keep you from taking action, to keep you safe. So, for instance, if you are thinking of starting an email list, and you don't know whether to go for active campaign or MailerLite, rationally, there's not that much difference. You can send emails from both. But if you're really struggling to make a decision, it can often be because you have a fear of actually having the email list and then having to grow it and send people emails and things like that. And so your brain is focusing on this other thing, instead of just making a decision and dealing with it. And in small instances like that, it can be really helpful if you find that you're stuck in like an indecision spiral, or you're just going, I don't know which one to choose. Really sit down, after you do your pros and cons list, and, ask yourself, what would happen if I made the wrong decision, right? Is there something that would, that you wouldn't be able to recover from? And most likely the answer is no, right? If you decided to go with MailChimp or something instead of ActiveCampaign, people change between email service providers all the time. And it is a doable problem to have to deal with. And that if it came to that situation in the future, it would be something that you could manage. And so the real thing is not which one is going to be better or worse. In situations like that, I think the thing you need to kind of look at more is, what is it? Why am I procrastinating on this task? What is this indecision keeping me safe from? So say you are sensitive to the judgment of other people, and there's a part of you that feels like sending a weekly email is opening up to being judged by other people. Well, then it would make perfect sense why your brain was using this indecision to keep you safe. So a lot of what I talk about is really in that awareness, in that noticing. So taking the time, if you find yourself in these situations, to take a step back and to, instead of focusing on the decision, on what the decision should be, starting to question, what is it about this decision that I'm struggling with? And that also works, I think, for bigger decisions as well. I think often, especially with bigger decisions, it can come down to kind of a fear of failure. not always, and it depends again on a person's kind of own susceptibility to different fears. But if we're making a big decision in our business, it makes perfect sense, because we don't know what's going to happen at the end of that we're fearful of whether that decision may be wrong. And one thing I think that we can remind ourselves of are, times in our lives where we have made a wrong decision. So looking at that, when has there been a time in your life that you've made a wrong decision and it turned out that it was okay in the end? You were able to manage that. And, conversely, there may be times when you made a wrong decision and nothing good came out of it, but you're still here. You're still trying and you're still fighting, and you have the resilience to be able to keep going, even if you made a wrong decision and it failed, or, it was just a terrible thing to do. And I think we often, because we have that negativity bias, right? Our brains like to focus on the negative. In situations like that, we'll think that, we made a bad decision and nothing good came out of it. And I think it can help to just recognize that actually maybe nothing good did come out of it in a physical sense, or in a things that we can collect and quantify. But, in your internal resilience, you gained a lot, you learned a lot about yourself and about other things. And that can be really huge in knowing how you can manage going forward. So if you're at a place in your business where you're kind of stuck between two big things and you're not sure which way to go, and part of you is fearful because you've made wrong decisions in the past that didn't turn out well, reassure yourself that that you did that, and you survived, and you're here, and you're trying, and it can help to take a little bit of the pressure off of the decision. I think a lot of times we put so much pressure on decisions because they feel really final. I'm deciding to do this thing, and that has to be what I'm doing. And decisions don't have to be that way, right? For a lot of things, there is a chance for us to start and evaluate and see how we feel about things and see what we're doing, and then pivot. If we're worried that other people will see that as flaky, or judge us for not being able to stick to our decisions, I think we can only reassure ourselves that we're not flaky, that we're not just making decisions like willy-nilly, right? We've taken the time to evaluate the options, and we've chosen this option as the best for us in the circumstances that we know now. And in some time in the future, we can then reevaluate the circumstances that we have and say, actually, well, maybe that's not the best for the circumstances that they are now. And we are fully allowed to change our mind. So I know that was maybe a little bit rambly, but I just had some thoughts that I wanted to share today. If you have any decisions in your business that you're feeling like are keeping you stuck or holding you back, and you'd like to chat about it, you could pop me a message down below. I would love to support you and helping you to get to a place where you feel comfortable making those decisions for yourself. And I think that's about it. I hope that you have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.